So I think the first thing we should talk about with investments is everyone says they're an advisor, right? And sometimes people just sell insurance and annuities. Sometimes people can just do the stock market and stocks, bonds, mutual funds. But one of the things people ask us all the time is, are you a fiduciary? And some people don't even know what they're asking, but they heard that's something you're supposed to ask. So can you explain the difference, like kind of what that world looks like?
Absolutely. So to the first point, that's something I always got a kick out of in this industry where everyone could be an advisor, right? I mean, so I don't blame people when they walk into our firms or they hear the term like, okay, oh, he's a financial advisor or she's a financial advisor, but you don't necessarily know what's behind that curtain. And a very, very clear distinction that everyone needs to understand is, are they a fiduciary? Now, that can be through a license that they have, or sometimes it is a combination of licenses, but it's a lot of it boils down to how you're paid, which we're going to get into. But the reason why it's so clear or so important to work with a fiduciary is that they are obligated, legally obligated, to put your interests first, the client's interests first. Yep. And that is so important when you're dealing in investments, because there's a lot of hidden fees. There's a lot of what are called 12B1 fees on mutual funds. There's a lot of sort of kickbacks, and that's probably not the right word to use, but commissions might be a better one to use it. And so you need to know that any recommendation that you're receiving is coming from a fiduciary, coming from someone that's on your side of the table, that has your best interests, again, legally obligated to have your best interests at heart, and you need to know that. And so I think that's the most crucial thing, because I think everyone else below that, they might act like a fiduciary. They might say like, oh yeah, I treat you like a fiduciary. But the question is, are you a fiduciary? And he or she needs to be able to answer yes, obviously in our opinion, but you need to ask that question just flatly: are you or are you not a fiduciary?
Exactly. And Matt's like, hey, listen, I got my CFP. Right. You can't. Everyone can just call himself an advisor.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the other part too. Just to pick that up a little bit. I mean, I sometimes liken these licenses, even if they're fiduciary, mind you. So this is, toss a little bit of shade, but think of it this way, right? When you get your license, right, yep, to be able to sell and make money off of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, all that stuff, I liken it to a driver's license, right? Where, okay, hey, guess what? You can now drive a car because you have a license. Does that make you a good driver? You know what I mean? Like, there might be bad drivers out there. They have a license, but so they can drive, they can get behind the wheel of a car.
They can parallel park.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I don't know if they do that anymore.
Back in reverse, yeah, right. I have a whole thing with my kids right now. It's like, use the video. I'm like, no, I'd like to do this, But it doesn't necessarily make them a good advisor. Just because they have a license to drive or a license to advise on stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, so forth, doesn't make them a good advisor. And I think that's why we wanted to make sure personally, CFP and here at SHP, to make sure that we had certified financial planners, because that allows you to say, okay, not only does that lady or gentleman have their license, but now they're a good driver. Yeah. Now they have proven that this is something that they truly are dedicating their life to, because it's not an easy designation to get.